Hello everyone and welcome back to Carvenus 14. Now today we are going to be looking at Bennett's character build guide and how you, a free-to-play man or lass, should build him. So Bennett's main role is a 4-star. I mean not 4-star, he's a 4-star support. You can run him as a DPS as well, but his more preferred and better role is a support just because of the utility and buffs that he gives to the team. So without further ado, let's just get into Bennett's build. So Bennett as a support, he's a pyro character. He's also got a very useful talent, which is what makes him very desirable. Now in terms of stats, we've got 12,000 max HP, 933 attack, 646 defense, 61 elemental mastery, and 240 max stamina. Now, I only just started using Bennett ever since I got him in the Kaching banner, so I have built him properly, but I haven't really got his friendship level up, but you know. So yeah, we got 8.9% crit rate and crit damage, but to be fair, with the support Bennett, you're not really building crit rate and crit damage on him. 5.4% healing bonus, 215% energy recharge, 15% shield strength from the Geo Resonance. But yeah, no other bonuses here apart from that. So in terms of weapons, the best in-slot weapon for him would be a 5-star weapon like the Skyward Spine. Skyward Spine or the Skyward Blade, I believe it's called. No? Well, the Skyward Sword, basically, because it has a high base attack and high energy recharge. Now, Bennett does scale off of base attack, and we'll get onto that as to why. But if you're a free-to-play or you weren't lucky enough to actually get the Skyward Blade, I think it's called. The Skyward Sword. I'm just going to call it the Skyward Sword. So if you weren't lucky enough to get the Skyward Sword, or you just don't have it, basically, then his best in-slot weapon would be something like the Festering Desire or the Sacrificial Sword. Although the passive doesn't really, you know, make sense on him, but you know, if you've got no other energy recharge weapon, then Sacrificial Sword would definitely be good. If you are if you were here for the patch 1.2 the Dragon Spine patch, and you did the event where you got the refinements for the Festering Desire and managed to get it all the way to refinement rank 5, then you should basically have this weapon. Now, this, in all honesty, is the best free-to-play weapon for Bennett, because it has a high base attack, which is what he scales off of, and a decent amount of energy recharge, 45.9%. Now, out of all of the energy recharge weapons, it does have the lowest when it's maxed out. It does scale the lowest when maxed out, but because of that, it has the highest base attack out of all of the 4-star weapons. So if you have the Skyward Sword, basically just go for that weapon, because it's honestly the best in slot for Venti. So yeah, any 3-star options. I believe the Skyrider Sword is what it's called. It also gives energy recharge and 51.9%, I believe. If you're going for like a DPS Bennett, obviously Prototype Rancor, Lion's Roar is also quite good on him, because it increases opponents affected by Pyro, and because Bennett's cooldown is really low, that's basically going to be popping all the time. Flute is actually also decent on him, but yeah, those are the weapons. Now in terms of artifacts, for a support Bennett, you want to run Noblesse Oblige 4-piece. Now the reason I say that is because well, all of this ties into Bennett's ultimate, but Bennett's ultimate basically gives you extra attack. Now on top of that extra attack, you're basically going to be getting even more attack from the 2 set for Noblesse Oblige. But here's the better thing: on top of the attack boost that Bennett gives you, you also get an increased 20% for 12 seconds. Now here's the thing: Bennett's ultimate actually lasts for 12 seconds as well. So as soon as you pop Bennett's ultimate down, the timer for Noblesse Oblige's 4-piece and his ultimate count down, and then they both end at the same time as well. Now in terms of what we're rolling, we've got flat HP percent, energy recharge, and elemental mastery. I haven't leveled this one up, but yeah, and it basically HP percent and energy recharge for support Bennett is what you're going to be wanting. Then for his feather, you want well, obviously you can't really change that, but we've got flat HP here and crit rate, which isn't really what you want on Bennett, but it's the only 4-star Noblesse Oblige plume that I have. So yeah, and in all honesty, we're not really running Bennett for, you know, crit rate or healing, because his healing's really good anyway. So yeah. In terms of timepiece, you want an energy recharge timepiece if you're running Bennett, you know, what is it? Support. But if you're running him as a main DPS, you obviously want attack percent. Now, you don't want HP percent on Bennett just because he does so much healing already. He doesn't even need any more. If you want, you can, but, you know, it's not really needed. So, yeah, energy recharge timepiece or attack percent if you're going for DPS. In terms of Goblet, you don't want pyro damage bonus. I mean, you want to go with pyro damage bonus if you're going for a pyro DPS Bennett, or if you're going for a physical damage Bennett, you can go for a physical damage Goblet. But if you're going for a support Goblet, you want HP percent here, just because you're going to be using Bennett in order to, number one, heal, and number one, boost your attack, which we will get onto. Don't worry about that. So support Bennett, HP percent. Pyro DPS Bennett, pyro damage bonus, and physical DPS Bennett, physical damage bonus. Now, for the helmet, you also want healing bonus, again, because of the healing that he gives. If you're going for DPS Bennett, obviously crit rate, crit damage, you know what to do. Now, if you're going for a DPS Bennett, his best set, you can actually mix it for, like, this is for DPS, by the way. Like, you can mix between 2-piece Crimson Witch and 2-piece Gladiators, or 2-piece Crimson Witch and Bloodstained Chivalry, or 4-piece Crimson Witch, which is honestly the best set for him. Now, Constellations, I have him Constellation 3, so we will run through them. But before we do, let's go through the talents. So, you got this, his normal attacks, which, you know, obviously do 5 hit strikes. These are his numbers at level 2. I haven't really leveled it up that much because I don't use Bennett as a DPS. Now, where the main bit is, it's at this. Passion, not Passion Overload, but we're coming to it. So, Passion Overload is basically the one where Bennett swings his sword out and does pyro damage. Now, this skill has a very short cooldown. It's only got a cooldown of, well, 5 seconds right now, but don't worry, we'll get to the passives in a minute, because this makes this skill even better. Now, this, what it does is, it's got 3 modes to it. So you've got the tap, which is just a single strike that does pyro damage. You've got the level 1 hold, which basically does 2 pyro damage proc. So it strikes twice, Bennett charges it up, dashes into his enemy, and then does like an uppercut. And his level 2 basically does 3. So he dashes into his enemy, uppercuts, and then slams it back down. Now, just to let you know, level 3... on level 3, Bennett will actually take knockback, so he'll go flying back once he lands the level 2 Passion Overload, but he won't take any damage. Now, if you guys want to run Bennett as a DPS and you'll keep doing level 2, which personally I don't recommend, because Bennett can do much more damage if you just do tap or level 1 over a period of time. But if you do like doing level 2 just because it looks good, I would suggest running a shield character, because when Bennett has a shield on him, he takes no knockback at all. So he just slams back down on the ground, and instead of flying back, he just slams back down on the ground and stays there. He won't actually fly back, which is really, really useful. I mean, it's good information. Not a lot of people know about that, but now you guys do. Skill attributes: tap damage, charge level 1 damage, charge level 2, explosion, and CD, cooldown. Now this is where the main meat, flesh, bones, and blood is at. It's where, basically, his ultimate, Fantastic Voyage. What this does is, basically, Bennett puts a circle on the ground. Now, this circle does 2 things. It heals you, right? And secondly, it gives you an attack boost based off of Bennett's base attack. Not his full attack, just his base attack. So if we go back here, and you see this full number, that's not the attack bonus that Bennett is giving you. You see this white number here, 644, that is Bennett's base attack, and that's what he's going to be giving you. Now, base attack depends on the character's level and also their base, their weapons level. So their level and their weapons level. Now, The good thing about this is you guys may be thinking, oh, if Bennett could scale off of max attack as well, it would have made him even more broken. Yes, it would have made him even more broken, but because of that, this makes it much easier for us to build him, because we don't have to put into artifacts, because attack percent won't really apply to him anyway. It's just off of base attack. So instead of choosing to build between HP, so for healing, and attack for his attack boost, you just build HP, because there's no point building attack. So this means Bennett is actually one of the easiest, if not the easiest character to actually build in the game. And HP percent is actually one of the most frequent artifact drops as well, so he's really, really easy to build off. Now, Bennett's healing is based off of his max HP, so not this white number, but the entire thing. So 12,108. He heals for that entire amount, not just the base attack. So here's another thing. Bennett, just to let you know, Bennett is a brilliant broken healer and attack booster, but his healing only heals you up to 70%. So once I get to pretty much 70% of my max HP, Bennett will stop healing us. All right? Now, here's the thing. Here's how it works. You pop Bennett's ultimate down, say you're lower than 70%, you actually get healed, and then when you hit 70%, you get the attack boost. So Bennett doesn't give you the attack boost if you're below 70%, all right? He only gives you the attack boost when you're above 70%. So just to make you guys aware, that's that. Now, at level 6, we got 326 skill damage, 8.4% of his max HP, and then add on a base value of 914. His attack bonus ratio is 78%, which, excuse me, at level 6 is actually really, really good if you think about it. So 78% of this number right here, which is really good if you think about it. Then the duration is 12 seconds, so it lasts the same amount as Noblesse Oblige. That's why I said Noblesse Oblige and Fantastic Voyage work hand in hand brilliantly. Cooldown is 15 seconds, and it only has an energy cost of 60, which is actually normal. Now, Rekindle, his first unlockable passive, is it decreases Passion Overload's cooldown by 20%. So Passion Overload's cooldown here is 5 seconds. So the tap will go down from 5 seconds to 4.5 seconds. His cooldown for level 1 hold will go down from 7.5 seconds to 7 seconds. And then level 2 hold will go down from 10 seconds to 9.5 seconds. So there's that. And then there's this, Fear Naught. Now, if you're using Bennett as a DPS, this is really, really good, because when you're in the circle of Fantastic Voyage, Passion Overload's cooldown is reduced by 50%. So all in all, this will go down to 2.5 seconds, 3.2 seconds, or 3.3 seconds, and 5 seconds respectively. So it's very good for a DPS Bennett. And another thing, his charge level 2, he won't get knocked back. So if you in the circle and you don't have a shield, but you use level 2 charge, you don't take any knockback. So in that regard, it's really, really good. So these two passives are really good. Now, another reason why Rekindle is really good is because Bennett is an absolute battery. He is very, very good at charging our characters and team overall with energy particles, because his energy particles, he drops 2 to 3 every single time, and you need to remember that without any passives, it's 5 seconds. With the first passive, it becomes 4.5 seconds, and with this, it's going to be 2.5 seconds. So we're basically getting a lot of energy very, very quickly. So, you know, and if you decide to run Bennett with a double Anemo comp, that's even better. That makes this cooldown even better. And then this is just, you know, it should be safe, so it reduces the character's expedition times by 25%. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on to Constellations. Now, Constellation, Bennett does not need. No character actually needs Constellations, but it's nice if you do get their Constellations. Apart from one of his Constellations, which I will get to. Now, Constellation number 1, Fantastic Voyage's attack increase no longer has a HP restriction, and Bennett gains an additional, and you gain an additional of 20% of Bennett's base attack. So what that means is, you know how before I was saying that for Fantastic Voyage to actually activate, you needed to be, for the attack bonus to actually activate, you needed to be above 70%. Well, now, with Constellation 1, you don't. So, if I was under 50, if I was at 50% of my health before, I'd need to get to 70%, then it would give me the attack boost. Now, after this Constellation, even if I'm at 50%, I'll get healed, and I will also get the attack boost. So this is really, really good. And an even better part of it, the cherry on top of this, is it gives you 20% increased base attack, right? So Bennett gains an additional 20% base attack, which means even better scaling for your attacks, for your character's attack. Then level 2, when Bennett's HP falls below 70%, his energy recharge is increased by 30%. So this just makes him an ult spam machine, basically. So you could just pop his ultimate down much more because his energy recharge is better. This just increases the passion overload level by 3, and it gets you up to, you know, you can max it all the way to level 15. Constellation 4, when using a normal attack, when executing a second attack of Passion Overload's charge level 1 allows an additional attack to be performed. This additional attack does 135% of second attack's damage. Okay, that is very wordy, and because I don't have this Constellation, I don't really know how its effect works. So if you guys know how this effect works, can you please put it down in the comments below? I mean, it's a bit ironic that you guys would know about Bennett if you're watching this guide anyway, but yeah, I really do apologize because I actually don't understand what this Constellation means. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave this out to the experts there. Or maybe if your English deciphering skills are much better than mine, then please tell me what it means in the comments down below. True Explorer. This one increases the Fantastic Voyage by level 3, and it increases, and you can get it to level 15 as a maximum. Now this one, Fire Ventures with Me. Sword, Claymore, and polearm wielding characters inside the Fantastic Voyage's radius gains a 15% damage bonus, and their weapons are infused with pyro. Now, whatever you do, alright, whatever you do, if you do have a C6, I mean, if you do have a C5 Constellation Bennett and you're thinking of going to C6, I would urge you to think again, because this Constellation actually destroys Bennett as a support. Because what it basically means is, yes, it gives you increased pyro damage, but the problem is, it infuses all of your sword, claymore, and polearm attacks with pyro. This doesn't take into account catalysts or bows, so in that regard, I guess you're safe. But for how long are you going to keep a bow or a catalyst main DPS? Especially because they're not really that damaging, unless you're Ganyu, but you know. So yeah, this is a big problem because a lot of the heavy hitters are sword, claymore, and polearm characters. Now the problem with this is it turns all of your damage into pyro damage, which basically means if you've got a physical DPS, someone like Razor, someone like who else is a physical DPS? Like a physical DPS Zhang Ling, then you're basically in a tight spot with this one because this basically turns all of your damage into pyro. Although to be fair, if you are physical damage Zhang Ling, yeah. So basically, unless you're maining a pyro DPS character, someone like D-Luke or even Jin Yan, because she's a brilliant pyro well, she's more of a physical DPS, but you know what I mean. So yeah, if you are running D-Luke or Hu Tao even, yeah, this Constellation is really good. It makes them even more broken. But if you're running anyone else DPS, I urge you guys, do not Constellation 6 Bennett, especially because this Constellation basically makes Bennett from the best support character to pretty much one of the worst support characters in the game. I mean, not for anyone else, but like it makes him even better for pyro characters and catalyst characters and bow characters, but it makes him completely horrendous for everyone else. So if you guys have a pyro DPS or a catalyst or a bow DPS character, you guys can knock yourselves out. Go ahead, Constellation 6 Bennett if you want. But if you don't, and you're going to be, you know, Constellation 6ing Bennett, don't do it. It actually kills Bennett, and it makes him so much harder to actually put him in team comps, because Bennett is a very versatile character. He's a very versatile character. So C6ing Bennett would honestly just kill him so so hard, honestly. So anyway, without further ado, you guys may want to go and see what Bennett can do. Now, I do need to try and grab some energy. So what we are going to do is we're going to go and find some treasure hoarders, just because I like to beat treasure hoarders up. Now, we're going to basically do this test with Zhongli, right? So Zhongli is my DPS, as you guys know. I do not promote killing animals, by the way. Please stay away from killing animals.
Crumble!
Anyway, as I was saying, as you all know, I've been maining Zhongli since day one. Well, if you would know if you actually saw my Zhongli character guide video. I did make a video on Zhongli, by the way, the character build video. So, yeah, if you guys want to do that, go watch that, then please go ahead, by all means. Now, you guys will see how much damage my... Okay. Alright, you guys can see there, the cooldown is pretty much 3.5 seconds. 2 energy. Alright, you can see how crazy.
Let's light it up!
And we're already back. Honestly, I can just keep doing this. Like... Now, if you built for Pyro DPS...
Let's light it up!
Then you're gonna get even more battery. Even more battery. I mean, even more, you know. And look at that. Bennett pretty much just by himself, single-handedly managed to charge my entire team. So, without further ado, you guys can see my damage there, right? Now,
everybody stand back!
Bennett. Alright, before we do, you guys can see my attack right now. 2, 4, 1, 6. Alright? See, now Zhongli's... Do you see that? We went from 2,
wine
4,
tastes the same
1,
as I remember.
6, 2,416 base,
But
attack
who
overall,
share the
to
memory?
3,050. Bennett just gave me, if my maths does not fail me, Bennett just gave me 634 increase attack. 634 increased attack, right? Which, if you didn't know... Sorry, mate. I'm a bit busy now. So, if you didn't know, Bennett has 644. He gave me, basically, his entire base attack minus 10. So, now, if you see my Zhongli... Alright, if I... Do you guys see that? Do you guys see the insane damage that Bennett actually gives? Honestly, kind of ridiculous. So, yeah. Honestly, Bennett is crazy. Like, see what I mean? And here's the thing, right? My Bennett isn't even built all the way, right? If I did get a 5-star Skyward Sword, if I got his talents to level 10, if I actually leveled up his artifacts, and if I, you know, what's it called? Actually, what is it? Got him to level 90, the amount of base attack he would be giving you is honestly ridiculous. But even this is enough. Even this is enough, right? Now, and I've nearly got my ult back up again. In fact, you know what? Shall I test out the healing? That was my one chance. Shall we test out the healing, guys? Let's test out Bennett's healing. Provided, you know what, there's a better way to do this. So, yeah, Bennett's healing is also ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys what his healing is, because you guys are going to have to find out. But, yeah, all I'm going to say...
Even bedrock can be turned to...
His healing is insane. His healing is honestly ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Right, we'll get Zhongli back up. Find something to pulverize. And, yeah, Alright, we are going... How about... We could go back up here, actually. We could go there. So, yeah, Bennett's healing is honestly ridiculous. Even at level 20, in fact, I am, you know what, pretty confident to say that Bennett is, like, one of the best healers in the... If not the best. I mean, I know you got people like Jean, who actually heals the entire party as well. But Bennett's healing is so quick, so consistent, that it's not even funny. Where did they go? Okay, they just disappeared. Now... This is a little bit tedious. Okay, we're going here then, I guess. So yeah, what do you guys think of the video so far? Apart from the fact that it's actually being really wishy-washy right now. Can I please just stumble across an enemy? Oh, god, there's slimes there. Two, and again.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
2,300. You guys can see this, right? Yep, and because I'm 70%, he stopped. Right, so... Basically, you guys can see that Bennett's healing is ridiculous. Bennett's healing actually ticks for 1,000 every single time, if you didn't know. His healing actually ticked for 1,000 every single time. So, yeah, I was getting 2,035 every single time. And here's the thing. Alright? Here's the thing. My artifacts, I have no HP main stat. I've got some HP here and there. Right? But his HP goblet is unupgraded. His healing bonus goblet is also unupgraded. So it's pretty safe to say that Bennett can do a lot of healing. Alright? So with that, I guess I'll end the video off here, guys. That's basically been Bennett's build guide. I have been Carvenus14 and still am. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you soon. Goodbye.